de exibição, a 1290 player de vídeo do YouTube.
Beleza, galera, mais um vídeo aqui no canal, começando a apresentação da Capcom no evento PAX UX. Deixa eu ver aqui, vamos ver aqui. Da Capcom no evento. A apresentação da Capcom. Galera, todo mundo bem-vindo a mais um vídeo aqui no canal. A apresentação da Capcom no evento chamado
PAX West 2025.
PAX West. O painel dela, vamos ver que se trata do painel da Batalha do Resident Evil e entre outros jogos. Pra ter gravado isso aqui ontem, mas eu não consegui gravar por causa que eu tinha outras coisas fazer ontem, né? E hoje ainda vou ter que fazer uma média depois aqui. Hoje a Nath não tá comigo nessa live porque ela tá com gravando lá a música de Natal para vocês já pra sair daqui no 1º de dezembro. Então, e ainda hoje já vou anunciar aqui que amanhã, dia 13, sai o evento da PlayStation. Então fique ligado no canal. O próximo evento é da PlayStation. E depois voltamos para PAX West, o primeiro dia do painel. Depois desse dia do painel, vai ter nesse dia a Wizards for the Coast, o Magic e entre outros. Vou mostrar para vocês aqui esse painel do Day One completo no dia 13 e outro no dia 14. Segundo dia no dia 14. Depois, dia 15, 16 e 17, não sei o que vai ter para trazer para vocês. Hoje é focado no PAX West. Não sei todos os jogos, sei que o Resident Evil está aqui nessa lista. O Pragmata também deve estar nessa lista aqui também. E entre outros, Master da Capcom. Só que eu vou aumentar um pouquinho aqui. Eu acho que o som do evento está baixo. Não para mim.
4 horas e 18 minutos.
Tá bom.
4 horas e 23 minutos. Volume deslizante 91% volume. 40%, 71%, 63% volume. 58% volume.
Tá bom, 58, tá bom. Aqui o evento vou fazer um alto para vocês, né? Eu gosto de deixar no 100, porque eu não vou ficar falando muito, né, no evento, mas aí é lá de vocês. Deixa eu ver se eu consigo tá aqui.
66% volume. 65% volume.
Aí tá. 65, vou deixar no 65. Muito alto, mas não é tão baixo pra vocês, porque eu vi um evento que saiu aqui no canal, ficou muito baixo. Mas quando for um evento que eu não vou falar muito, aí eu vou deixar baixo o volume do evento. lembrando vocês.
38 por 7, 61 por 40 por 76, 63 por 70% volume.
Tá bom, 70. 30% abaixo. Deixando 70 mesmo, porque 70 é um número razoável. Mas lembrando a todos vocês, aí tá o QR Code da Capcom. Eu vou entrar no canal oficial da PAX West essa semana. Mais tarde vou fazer uma Magic Arena. Depois de jogar lá Lost Side. Eu virei Lost Side. O jogo estão criticando lá o jogo, estão dando nota baixa. Com uns vagabundos que não estão nem jogando. Certeza absoluta. O jogo só joga por lixo, Roblox, Fortnite e Apex Legends. Só que joga esses jogos lixo. Estão dando essas notinhas baixas. Um gamer de verdade aprecia o valor do jogo. Gastaram 8 milhões para fazer o jogo. É pouco. Eu não acho. Acho razoável. Para mim, esse pessoal que faz detonar o jogo sem jogar não devia ser válido. Aquele site lá que faz a review dos jogos de lançamento e outros reviews ficam como posso dizer, tem que botar a mão dura, botar a plataforma que eles jogam. Se não botar a plataforma que eles jogam, para mostrar a ID deles, né? Então tem que ser obrigado a botar a ID deles para mostrar que estão jogando um jogo de verdade. Mas pode criar várias IDs, né? Mas vai valer uma. Aqui se você joga. Né, príncipe lindo? Aqui daqui comigo hoje, fazendo acompanhando essa live.
Hello, PAX West.
Hello, everyone.
How are we doing?
Lembrando, amanhã temos PlayStation.
All right, Andy, we've been at PAX West for a few days now. How are things going so far?
Really, really good. We've seen so many of you at our booth. A lot of you. Our lines are capped pretty much the entire day, so thank you for making that happen. It really means a lot to us.
And we just realized that we didn't do any intros. So, hey, everybody, I'm Joe from the Capcom USA community team, and I'm joined by
Andy, also part of the community team.
We're super excited. Thanks, everybody. Andy, we've got a packed lineup for 2026. Almost too many games?
Almost, but I think everyone in the audience would agree that it's a good 2026, though.
And it's been really, again, really great to see the response. And, you know, in today's panel, we're going to go over a few of the games that we've got coming up for next year. So why don't we go ahead and get started?
Yeah.
You're
up first.
Oh, I am? Okay. All right, so before we get into some of the bigger games in the show, we do want to talk about Monster Hunter Stories 3, which we revealed in
Monster Hunter História 3.
So just a quick refresher on the game. Monster Hunter Stories 3, Twisted Reflection, revealed in Nintendo Direct last month. I guess it's been a month already at this point. It's the next evolution in our turn-based, story-rich RPG series in the world of Monster Hunter. We're super excited to bring this title to you in 2026. It really pushes the series to new heights. Protagonist is older than our previous games. You can kind of see that artwork right there. That's our protagonist, the leader of the Rangers, and also the heir to the kingdom of Azuria. So in this game, the protagonist is kind of embroiled in the center of this tense war between two nations. So it's actually almost on the brink of war. So yeah, it's a really intense story. The game really kind of levels up from past games with more exploration and, again, the evolution of the turn-based combat system. So, again, let's take a look at the trailer that we revealed last month.
O trailer do mês passado. Eu não sabia de ser vendo da Nintendo Direct. Talvez eu traga também aqui no canal. Para ver que groselha trouxeram. Olha só.
Our ignorance is proving fatal. The encroachment threatens to drive our people out of house and home. But this divide has brought our two kingdoms to the brink of war.
And you are the sole Rathalos rider in Azuria.
My people have been driven into a corner, and the point of no return is looming before us.
Can't afford not to go. I cross the meridian. Keep going. But it won't be for long.
Monster Hunter Stories 3.
Two sounds overlapping each other.
All right, and we'll have much more to share on Monster Hunter Stories 3 in the weeks and months ahead. Again, it's coming to Nintendo Switch 2, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Steam in 2026. That's not all that's happening in the world of Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter Wilds, we have our collaboration that we recently announced with Final Fantasy XIV coming in late September. So if you're an FF14 fan, hopefully you're excited for that.
Monster Hunter Final Fantasy, vamos ver.
We've also got our Monster Hunter USA Championship. It's coming back for the first time in 5 years. In
Monster Hunter
Championship. This one. It's happening Friday, October 17th. And yeah, we hope to see you there. Scan that QR code on screen.
O dia do aniversário do canal, hein?
In San Diego.
Em San Diego, na Califórnia.
All right, Andy, what do we got next?
We have some Onimusha Way of the Sword next, but a little, I know, right? After this, we're gonna do a little recap of Resident Evil Requiem, and then finally we're gonna end with some gameplay and some cool things with a special guest.
Teremos a Wizard for the Coast.
All right, so for Onimusha Way of the Sword, how many of you have played the demo at PAX West on the show floor. All right, quite a few people. That's awesome. It is a series that I grew up with, and I'm so excited to talk about it today. Before we get started on the actual gameplay today, I'm going to be talking more about the lore and the mechanics behind the gameplay that you might have seen online or at the show floor at PAX West. And after that, we have a very special treat. We are going to show a new boss fight that a lot of people haven't actually seen before. Very, very few people have seen it before. So this is the first time we're going to show this boss fight publicly, just for you guys here in the audience.
Uma semana de dieta.
And last thing is, this game is still in development, so the final product may differ. With that said, let's tee up the gameplay. All right, there is our protagonist, Musashi. And he is at Kiyomizu-dera right now. Kiyomizu-dera is a temple that exists currently in Kyoto. It's a beautiful temple if you haven't been. So Musashi is seeing these clouds above Kiyomizu-dera, and that is the malice, which is created by the Genma, the bad guys of this world, if you will. So our job is to go to the main stage of Kiyomizu-dera and wipe out that malice. But there's going to be some bad guys on the way for us to show off our samurai sword techniques. This is our first look at some of the gameplay. We have a single-handed attack, which is super quick and easy to use, and we have a two-handed attack, which can break the enemy's guard. And one of the most iconic things in Onimusha series is the way to absorb souls. The yellow souls heal, the blue souls fill your Oni armaments, and the red souls give you experience. So as you can see here, we can block from any angle, even from behind. And this is kind of a cool way to show how far Musashi has gone in his training.
Tudo enganado, a PAX West teve 3 dias de evento. Aqui só o painel da
Capcom. So the souls
Capcom.
actually go away after a bit. Part of the strategy is to decide
Hoje à
when
noite
to
eu vou
absorb the
gravar
souls and when to attack.
Umas
We're going to
10
show
horas de
some
evento.
parrying here. Parrying redirects attacks. If you're against the wall, you'll throw an enemy against the wall and finish them off in a satisfying strike.
You're not getting the best of me.
If we use our two-handed attack to break a guard, we can then do a follow-up attack that you see right there. We can also parry ranged attacks and send the attack back at the enemy, which will daze them and allow us to do that.
Meu Deus, que delícia, que delícia.
So parrying is, like I said before, a special thing that you can use the environment to also help you out. So in this case, we're going to parry the enemy right into a torch and set him on fire.
Fora, né? Que tá aí, né?
So if an enemy is dazed, then we can quickly take care of him and his buddy right next to him, all in one go. We have the Hozuki plants, which is our healing items. We can carry them on the bottom left right there, so you saw that we healed, and then we can pick them up along the way. If you haven't noticed already, we have a really cool dismemberment system, a dismemberment system being cool, where when Musashi slashes, the body will split apart at exactly the place where he cuts them in half. So let's take care of some of these guys before moving on.
Ai, ai, ai.
going to pick up some additional healing items that we can use along with our Hozukis. These are more minor and won't heal as much, but they're very useful to have. We're going to approach an area where there is usually a cutscene, but we've skipped this just to save time. If you want to see the cutscene, go on our social channels or play the demo here at PAX West. Right here we have some new enemies, and a really good way to handle these is to parry them, especially the spinning ones. You might not see it here, but if we parry the spinning enemies at the right angle, we can send them flying into the other enemies.
Parry nos inimigos.
Here we just put them against a wall and slice them in half.
Que legal!
These floating Genma actually absorb the souls that are kind of around you. So you really want to absorb the souls yourself before they can do it. Because when they do absorb the souls, they get super strong. But for Musashi and for this, we can take care of them no problem.
That stench.
Meu senhor amado. Vamos lá!
Right here, we can also do a stealth attack as long as they don't notice us. We're going to show you a series staple right here called the E-Sen. When you press the attack button instead of the parry button, right as an enemy attacks, it results in this. It is a satisfying strike, you get more souls, and it can take out some of the weaker enemies in one hit. You can also use the environment, like I said, like a cart, to destroy 3 of them at the same time.
Oh, que legal! Fazer isso pode destruir 3 inimigos de uma vez só.
It's a more difficult technique, the E-Sen, but if you get it done, then you will get rewarded with a lot. So we're going to approach the main stage here. There is a cutscene. Again, if you want to watch it, go to our social channels. But we have the second part of this cutscene because we want to introduce you to someone very special. This is Sasaki Ganryu. He's actually the real-life rival of Musashi. And right there, he has an Omni Gauntlet of his own. This is the first time in this series where an enemy has an Omni Gauntlet. And unlike Musashi, he welcomes this Oni Gauntlet. Musashi doesn't want it. He wants to do things the old school way. But Ganryu, he's like, I want this, give it to me. And he's almost like kind of bored with the whole concept of power, but he wants more.
But look, you got yourself one too. What blessed luck.
We're going to get into a boss battle here. The top bar is the health, the bottom red bar is the stamina gauge. We're going to show off a few more techniques in this battle. The best way to take care of him is to parry. This is called a blade barrage. If we press the right sequence buttons, we can get that cinematic kind of feel to the swinging. Right there is a perfect evade. If we do enough perfect evades, the bottom reflex gauge on the bottom right, the red, will fill. And once that fills, which it will in just a second, you can do a follow-up attack.
Acabar a estamina do oponente fica mais rápido.
If we deplete, there's a follow-up attack right there. If we deplete all of Ganryu's stamina, we get a break E-Sen. You get to choose which part of his body to attack. Red deals more damage, and purple results in more souls. So it really depends on what you want for that situation. We got some damage done to us, so we went with the purple so we can heal more.
O roxo.
We're about to fill the blue gauge, the blue square gauge on the bottom. And you fill that by doing enough parries successfully. Once that happens, you're going to see that Musashi's blade glows a blue. There it is. If we attack with a blazing state sword, then more blue souls get released. And blue souls can charge our Oni armaments.
O Blue Souls vai carregar o armamento.
These are the twin celestials. If we use it with R1, then it releases yellow souls for us to heal.
Olha só que apelão, hein?
Another blade barrage.
Meu Deus. Já vai pro saco, é?
And we took him down. Something tells me that's not the last time we're going to see Gonryu, though. But, you know, he's the rival, so we're probably going to see him again.
É.
And like I mentioned, that's not the end. We have another first look at a boss. This is going to be the Byakuya fight that very few people have seen. So this is the first time publicly that we are showing it. So let's roll that video.
Então agora vamos mostrar outro boss.
As we make our way down, our team that's working on Onimusha Wave of the Sword worked with the Kiyomizudera Temple staff to ensure that Kiyomizudera looked as accurate as possible to how it might have looked back during the Edo period. We wanted to include a lot of Japan's mythology and folklore, especially in the Kyoto area, into this game.
Japonesa e folclore
As we go
japonês.
down the stairs, a rift appears, and through it is...
Que entrada!
And like I said, for the mythology and folklore, this Genma is the epitome of that. You see those talismans around him, the white Ofura talismans, they seal his power. But because we want to defeat him, we're going to have to attack him. And as we attack him, there's going to be blood on the Ofura, on the talismans. Which basically means the more this fight goes on, the bloodier the talismans get, and the more of his power gets released. So we want to make sure to take care of this fight as soon as
durar a luta, o poder dele será maior.
Until the end.
Tem que acabar a luta quanto antes para poder não deixar ele ganhar tanto poder. A estamina dele tá andando na metade. A vida dele também tá na metade, já tá na metade mesmo. Durar um pouco mais. Que delícia!
And we've done it. The last thing left is to absorb this rift to make sure it doesn't pop up again.
Resolver isso para que não caia de volta.
Good job, Musashi. So that's all we have for Onimusha Way of the Sword. It comes out next year. But until then, our next segment is for Resident Evil Requiem. So today we're going to be talking about Resident Evil Requiem through the lens of what's already been shared, using the rich history of the series to guide us through this discussion, if you will. Resident Evil Requiem is the 9th mainline installment of the series, and it is coming out in just almost about like 6 months. 6 months, you guys, that's crazy. I never thought I'd be saying that, by the way, but in just 6 months. It also coincides with the 30th anniversary of the Resident Evil series overall. So 30 years ago, Resident Evil Requiem redefined survival horror. It has been one of the longest enduring and genre-defining games in gaming history, really. It's terrified so many of you, including me, but terrified a lot of generations across almost every single platform out there. We've met so many characters, we've survived so many viral outbreaks, or not survived viral outbreaks. And we've beaten some impossible odds. But more importantly, the community is what really keeps everything going. For 30 years, it's 30 years of cosplay, 30 years of speedrunners, 30 years of streamers, of artists of all kind, and you guys that are just sitting here right now, we're all part of the Resident Evil community, so thank you so much for showing up. So this anniversary is more than just a milestone for us. It is our way for us to look back, but also to look forward. And Resident Evil Requiem kind of embodies that whole concept. It is a celebration of the legacy, but also it is what's next. What's next because it is the next installment of the series. As part of our 30th anniversary, we actually unveiled a really cool art that I'm going to show you right now. Beautiful. If you haven't seen it, there's some really cool details in here that kind of just embodies, as I said, 30 years of Resident Evil. Go to the website or our socials to get a better look at this. But we're going to continue on.
Nossa página web, ou nas redes sociais
as part of the 30th anniversary, we have a bunch of special collaborations and activations throughout the year. So keep an eye on our channels or wherever you get your Resident Evil news. All right, so Resident Evil is, it embodies everything I already said, but I want a raise of hands. How many of you have played at least 3 Resident Evils? Well, that is a lot. That's a lot, Joe. You have to? Awesome. How many of you played at least 7? That is the same amount of people. That's crazy. And how many of you have played no Resident Evils at all? Amazing. That is also totally cool. So Resident Evil Requiem is for everyone who raised their hands or everyone who didn't. And thank you for coming again because this game is really just a celebration of the entire series. But let's talk more about Requiem's story. This game takes place in Raccoon City after the Raccoon City incident. That's when the government decided to wipe Raccoon City off the face of the planet to contain the threat. Just something small like that. But you play as Grace Ashcraft. She's a young FBI analyst. She knows how to use a gun, but she's not like a battle-hardened soldier by any means. She's also made very introverted because she lost her mother 8 years ago. And unlike other heroes that you might know from Resident Evil, she is very scared. She has a very fearful personality. And you might have seen this fearful personality if you play the demo in third person, as she kind of just like stumbles along the hallways, her breathing intensifies, she's scared. But how many of you have actually played the demo? Amazing, amazing. And as people were walking out, I would kind of ask them to describe the demo in one word. A lot of people said just scary or terrifying, which is exactly what we're going for. Grace she's a very determined person. She excels in almost like analysis and reasoning, but sometimes she might be too focused to the point where she might not listen to what other people have to say to her. But we can't talk about Grace without mentioning her mother, Alyssa Ashcroft. Alyssa Ashcroft is from Resident Evil Outbreak. Anyone here actually play Outbreak?
No.
That's quite a bit. For the Outbreak fans, you might have seen Alyssa's notes in Resident Evil 7. But if you haven't seen the notes, go ahead and boot up the game, or you can just look at the screens around me. You can see the notes right there. But like heroes similar to Claire or Leon or Jill or Carlos, she did survive the Raccoon City incident. She is very determined. She hates to lose. And more than that, Alyssa, after the Raccoon City incident, she continued to investigate Umbrella and all their darker machinations. As for what happened to Alyssa and Grace 8 years ago, you might have seen a little snippet of that during Gamescom opening night live, where we showed a touching moment between them. Alyssa would say, "You are my hope," and this bond between them, this impact, this emotional turmoil that Grace has to go through, that's the emotional core of the story. So, this Resident Evil Requiem starts when Grace's superior tells her to investigate a strange death in the Renwood Hotel. And the Renwood Hotel is exactly where her mother died. So it's a pretty tall order, but this emotional response, as I said, is what gets the game going. Grace will soon find out that this strange death she's investigating might be tied to the Raccoon City incident, and it might also be tied to past biohazards in unexpected ways. But Requiem is not really just about telling older stories. Like the subtitle says, it is a requiem for the past. It is Grace facing her past, Alyssa's death and Grace's growth. These two, we can't wait to see what you guys think. And this is not a multiplayer game like Outbreak. This is a single-player, narrative-focused game. You don't have to have played any of the previous Resident Evils, but if you have, we hope you enjoy just how this game threads itself into like the larger tapestry of this series. And right here at PAX West, you can play the demo, and hopefully we're still here today and tomorrow, so if you haven't gotten a chance to play it, hopefully you can jump in tomorrow. You can play this game in first or third person and switch pretty seamlessly. We kind of recommend first person for a more immersive experience, and we recommend third person for what I would say to see Grace in how scared she is and everything. So how many of you would play this game in first person? Okay, remember that, Joe, okay? All right, and how about third person? I would say it's pretty even. It's pretty even. So we've done this poll on our socials, and it's super fun for us. I think third person is usually the one that wins out, but I think it depends on what day we do the poll, because it's kind of all over the place. As long as you guys enjoy it, and you can play it with both. That's really all that matters. So Resident Evil Requiem comes out on February 27th, 2026 on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC via Steam. Again, if you haven't had the chance to play it, stop by our booth at PAX West. The lines are really long, but I hope you guys can make it in. We still have an entire day tomorrow, and it's Monday's usually, I guess, maybe less people than, say, yesterday. And that is all we have for the Resident Evil recap. I am going to pass it off back to Joe.
Estamos gravando.
All right. Thanks, Andy. Pragmata. Who knows about Pragmata?
Agora vamos falar de Pragmata.
All right, Pragmata, a new original sci-fi action-adventure game from Capcom. Some of you guys have been waiting a really long time for this one. So we're really excited to show you more. Pragmata is set on a lunar research station where researchers work with a material called Luna filament. This can be used to basically replicate anything as long as they have its data. Suddenly, this research station goes dark, prompting a response team to be dispatched. In Pragmata, you play as two protagonists at the same time, the spacefaring Hugh, who you can see in the artwork here. He's a member of the dispatch team, and Diana, a mysterious android in the form of a young girl. She is a Pragmata, and that's an android created using Luna filament. Pragmata does what Capcom does best. It's action, but with a twist. And enemies have to be hacked before you can actually do any damage to them. And you do this all in the heat of battle to really create a unique tension that's really special in this game. We're going to show a bit of live gameplay coming up, but it wouldn't feel right for me to do that alone, so we brought out a special guest. Everybody, let's welcome Maximilian to the stage.
What's up, dudes? Hi, guys.
Hey. Welcome, Max. All right, Max, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. This is my first PAX. Is anybody else? Is this your first PAX? There's a few. Okay, I don't feel as alone. That's good.
Yeah. All right, Max, you kind of have a interesting history with this game. You want to talk about that?
I find it funny that you want me to talk about that on stage. So, yeah, I'm sure for some people that watch the stream, you're kind of aware of it, but I'll just sort of do a quick rundown of it. Pragmata was announced back when the PlayStation 5 was first announced. So this has been over like 5 years almost. And it was kind of a conceptual trailer. We saw some cool stuff in it, but it was sort of like, oh, I wonder what the gameplay is going to be like. And then years later, I wonder what the gameplay is going to be like. I wonder what that's going to be like. And we were getting teases, but it wasn't there. And then time kept going. It kept getting delayed. And I'm like, dude, I don't know about this, guys. People were still, what about Pragmata, Max? Put some gift subs on Pragmata. And I'm like, I don't know, dude. Eventually, like 3 or 4 years in, I'm like, guys, I've lost faith. I don't know if this is going to go anywhere. I'm sorry, chat. I banned the word Pragmata. Everyone kept asking. And I'm like, you guys, we're calling this Pregunta. We don't even know what it is. So, long story short, Summer Games Fest happens, and then we actually see the game. It shows up. I'm like, what? And it fulfills the gift sub bet. I'm like, I owe it to you guys. Yeah, I never thought it would come back. And I get to Summer Games Fest, and it's my favorite game at the event, and I'm like, oh no. Oh no, I like it. So yeah, I'm sort of owning up to it, and some friends at Capcom, they're like, we got you, didn't we? I'm like, yeah, you did. So I'm here, and I'm here to talk about Pragmata and kind of what I played of it, and I think we're going to show it off too, right?
Yeah. Because it's real, as you saw in our real. All right, let's get into some live gameplay.
Someone brought their kid out here. Hey.
Hello. This is Edis, your autonomous base administrator. Unregistered guest identified. Walker, please remove him from the premises.
Hey, watch out. There's something right here.
All right, so we've got control now. So, you know, at first glance, it kind of looks like a basic third-person shooter, right? But as you can see, we're not doing any damage right now. I mean, 18's not a lot.
Oh, come on. Damn it. Hey, get behind me. Move. Hey, shooting to...
I think I can help. Bypassing first and second firewall panels and control protocols. Analyzing, converting the interrupt matrix. Visualization complete. Initiating hack.
So now we have the ability to hack. Max, when you first got hands-on with the hacking, what were your initial thoughts?
My initial thoughts are, you play this so much better than I do. And when you first see the hacking, I remember seeing it in a video and I'm like, I don't know what to make of this when you're looking at a video, because one thing's going on the left and another thing's going on the right. So it's literally left and right brain hemispheres sort of kicking in. But weirdly enough, when you play it, it sort of just works because the hacking is done on the face buttons. So yeah, it's sort of like up, down, left, right over here, and then it obviously escalates as the game goes on. But weirdly enough, it looks like an odd game, but it doesn't really play like one.
Yeah, I think it feels really natural. So basically we use our face buttons here to go through the blue nodes, which does extra damage, and our goal is to get to the green node.
This part messed me up because when you hack the enemy, you think you're stunning them, but they're not. They can be mid-swing and still go for you.
And location damage is important there, so we were able to just topple it over. Might be something that you'd see in a game like Resident Evil 4.
We got company.
And the game just kind of continues to layer on new enemies, different mechanics, new weapons. Let's dodge that range attack.
Yeah, this was one of the fun things at the Summer Games Fest demo, which is similar to this, where you're playing it, and as you play it, there is effectively something new being presented to the player like every single other moment. It's like, you got a little grasp of this, well, here's that. You got a little grasp of that, well, here's something new. That was probably one of the things that grabbed me the most.
Yeah. So this is an escape hatch. In this demo, it really just serves as a checkpoint, but in the full game, you're going to be able to do a lot more with these. Let's move on here.
This environment is not kid-friendly.
We love lasers at Capcom, as you guys might know. You can thrust in midair there. And let's hack this lock. So in a lot of other games, this might just be something like hold triangle to get past a door, unlock a door. But here it's just kind of like a very simple puzzle. It doesn't challenge you in a huge amount of ways. It's just kind of meant to like kind of tickle your brain with a short puzzle.
It feels like the start of the game, and that's what I was sort of noticing, is that there's a little bit of these environmental puzzles sprinkled throughout, and other little areas you can go to that are off the beaten path that give guns and other rewards. So it was like, oh, I'm actually being rewarded for looking around a little bit more.
Yeah, that's a good call out. So before we get to the locks, let's actually go and explore a little bit more. You're able to turn off those lasers there. Max, what do you think about the kind of visuals and the vibe of the game?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna mention a game that I feel only a handful of people either watching at home or in this panel are gonna know about. The biggest vibe I got from this game, traversing from one room to the next, music kicks in, eliminate robot enemies-ish, and the rooms are very pale in design. They're like white and black. I'm like, am I playing Piano 3 in 2025? Like, 6 people? No, that's good. So yeah, weird GameCube era Capcom game made by the creator of Shinji Mikami. I think he directed it. He was dude that made Resident Evil, right? But it's a bizarre shooting game. It never really moved beyond that. Stars like Vanessa Schneider. Either way, I don't feel that there's a ton of direct inspiration, but of all the Capcom games out there, I got the most Piano 3 vibes when the music kicked in.
Right. Especially with the white wall aesthetic.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, so just grabbing some more Lunafilament. I think you can see Diana mentioning the shelter.
Yeah, you grabbed a stasis net?
I did, yeah.
Oh, I think you got that. In the demo, that shows up a bit later, right?
Yeah. Changing things up.
So, yeah, what I kind of dug about it is that I use the term sort of comically, combat puzzle. Like Devil May Cry games are combat puzzles. It's just applying what tools at the right time. But in this game, it literally is, because your resources are limited. So your main gun, the grip gun, refreshes. You sort of get ammo back, but the stasis net, and I think what you're about to pick up, you don't get a ton of ammo.
Yeah.
You kind of got to use it like a resource.
So this is basically a shotgun, right?
It's a big shotgun. Yeah. If you want things to go down quick, this is what I was pretty much using.
Yeah. So now we're gonna get challenged a little bit. This is a walker enemy. Can we do the big hack there?
You did that so fast. So yeah, you use the big yellow thing as the stasis net that pretty much keeps them in the stun state for an extended period of time. You did that really fast.
I played this a little bit.
I'm assuming go.
But I think that's the cool thing about this game is the more you play, the skill expression, it gets better. You get better at the game. You feel yourself getting better. There's progression. It feels good.
Yeah, I think I went back a few times to try it, and the reason is that I wanted to do it as quickly as I possibly could. because I was feeling sort of like a classic like Mega Man vibe of like, oh, I just want to try to beat this, you know, hit all the crit points, hit all the good spots, and just move from one point to the next point.
Yeah, I think the thing you mentioned is flow state, right?
Yes, it's like a flow state game, yeah. So I mentioned Mega Man, and I have to ask, since I'm on this big panel of Capcom stuff, I have seen a video or two, not by me, saying that this is a hidden Mega Man game. Can you guys comment on that at all?
Comparando jogos, pensando que era Mega Man.
Because it's a new Capcom IP, a lot of classic Capcom fans, including myself, you know, are sort of like reaching a little bit, or like sort of wondering if this is going to tie into some sort of mega narrative. But that's kind of the neat thing, is that Pragmata is like a completely unique thing that has been in development for a long time.
It was really funny to come back from SGF, and the narrative was that this was a hidden Mega Man game. And we brought it to the dev team, and they're like, what is going on?
What?
So there's the stasis net that we initially get. And yeah, one of the most fun parts, like I was saying earlier, is when you get a room with a lot of enemies, and you start having to really balance, okay, ammo, muscle memory, with puzzle solving. It technically becomes like 3 different things on top of it.
This is kind of one of those rooms, which, again, we're very early in the game, so it's not going to throw a ton at you, but this can be a tricky room if you don't use your tools correctly.
Yeah, there's actually a dude down there that's stuck in the stasis net if you don't use the stasis net, and you're sitting here trying to fight the larger guy, and the dude comes in and starts hitting you, and you're like, uh-oh. This is where, like, that, like I said, left-right brain hemisphere thing starts to really kick in.
Yeah, so really managing the crowd control is super important. Let's get this lock here.
So there's an entire 3D printing sort of plot point in this game, right?
Yep. So again, anything can be printed using Luna filament, but the cool thing is, you know, sometimes the 3D printing messes up, right? And so you can kind of see that right here.
Looks like the printing messed up.
I was almost wondering what was happening to Hugh at the start, if he were 3D printing my health back.
Yeah, pretty much, huh? So yeah, Diana was mentioning that we can't go this way, but it kind of gives you a look about, you know, kind of the progression of the game. We don't have the stuff that we need to get past right now.
Pode seguir. Porque el lado que estaba indo não era adequado.
Dude, Diana's hair physics are like multi-generational.
Just like
an actual huge upgrade. That's crazy.
All right, let's head down this way.
Dropping down.
I just want to talk about this. You know, we at Capcom, you know, we'll put a ladder in a game, but you know, you have to style a little bit. So we got this.
It has to look cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's like one of the Capcom quintessentials. If you're going to do something, it has to look cool.
The rule of cool, yeah.
So this was pretty much a lower room, right?
Yeah, so you can kind of see just like modern furniture, or, you know, Earth furniture that is being 3D printed here, but it's kind of like not fully complete.
Does that one look like a Mega Man face? Maybe not.
You can read these logs here. It's kind of just talking about, you know, the printing the furniture, but I want to talk about this one, which is it's talking about 3D printed food.
That doesn't sound delicious.
Would you eat a 3D printed burger?
That would probably taste like styrofoam. Maybe not.
So these ones are kind of like, you know, nice flavor, but this one's kind of sad. It's kind of like this person who ended up going back home, and you know, they were sad that they were leaving the person that they were with, so they 3D printed a bunch of things from back home for them just to remind them of home. All right, let's move on a bit.
Starts to make me definitely wonder about Diana's origins and everything like that are very much being kept a mystery right now. I don't think we know much about her.
Yeah. So there's some additional lore in these different areas here. One I want to call out here is this one gets some fun dialogue between Hugh and Diana, just talking about this guy who's basically talking about, you know, the bots kind of like basically took over his job and did all the work for him.
Bots did all the work, leaving him bored to tears. Man, cry me a river.
Are you bored too, Hugh? Are you going to cry?
Nah, I'm good. Kinda hard to get bored keeping up with your chit-chat.
I'm curious to see how everything evolves. I'm also like wondering like Hugh's backstory, because we haven't seen much from beforehand. and he sort of wakes up. So again, this is a slice of the game from a near early portion, but not the full story.
Yeah, for sure.
This will make it easier to
So that's a
hit things
decode. We
hard.
actually picked up one of these earlier, but they'll show up on your hacking grid. That one in particular, if you go through it on the grid, it actually lowers the enemy's defense.
I see. So yeah, this is the modifier stuff. Yeah, the stun state doesn't actually stop them. Like, it just exposes the weak ones. So now you're incentivized to hang out on the hacking grid a bit longer to get more rewards, but it's like a risk-reward situation.
Yep. And again, this is very early in the game, but you can tell that it's already going to layer on much
Eu não
more.
vou falar de jogo que eu não
Actually, if
joguei.
you go up this way, there is a fun secret that you
O
can find to
campeonato
put it down for
parece
yourself.
jogo
But we'll save that for you guys to discover on your own.
difícil
So let's continue on here.
para mim.
And Max, you know, this is a classic elevator, which very clearly nothing will happen. Nothing bad
Acessibilidade
will
em
happen.
todos os
No,
jogos
it'll
que
be
eu jogo em
totally fine.
diante,
It's
você
just
tem
for movement, that's
acessibilidade
it. Uh-oh.
para mim poder jogar, né?
I think this encounter does a good job of kind of showing you what you can expect in the gameplay. Really just bouncing.
Não parece
counter,
tão difícil o jogo
crowd
não.
control, I missed there.
And environmental, I remember a couple of times the bots, the flying guys, were shooting at me while I'm also trying to fight these dudes, but I was able to use the panels that lifted up to block. You are making quick work of this, though.
There you go. And the elevator stopped, so let's just get that going again.
Mas se você jogar, só vou saber
Yeah, it's
quando
funny to see the game that was in development for so long, like a conceptual phase,
Quando
wondering
tiver
what
a
it's going to
pre-order
be.
ou
You know,
liberação
from
dele,
the
eu
very,
pego.
very early gameplay snippets being like a third-person shooter action game, but still not entirely committed. It looked like it could have been close to like even a Lost Planet 3 situation. So we were just like wondering. I mentioned the word Lost Planet at a Capcom panel, okay? So yeah, it was sort of like a curious like wonder over the years. How is this game going to turn into something like tactile? And now it plays like no other Capcom game I've played.
Yeah, and it feels really good to play. I think when you guys get hands-on with it, you'll agree.
Mas temos
that
PlayStation
the gameplay
e
feels
depois
tight,
passado
the
amanhã
core
voltamos
mechanics
comprar
look really
com
good.
essa.
It all just clicks.
Primeiro dia que vai ter o Wizard
So
for
Max,
the
I've
Coast.
kind of played enough at this point, so I think something's about to happen. So I'm going to hand the controller over to you. I think you remember at Summer Game Fest,
yes,
we unceremoniously just ripped the controller from your hands and didn't let you fight the boss, but I'm going to let you do that today.
I have very little time with this, but alrighty then. It's like I'm back at home, but there's way more stakes.
60%.
Warning. Unauthorized access detected. Severing primary connection.
Did they 3D print the huge bad robots too?
Everything.
Everything.
Unregistered guests are forbidden from this area.
But they're all intended to help, right? But, you know,
this is helpful.
Targets identified. Neutralizing threats.
Neutralize? Us?
just love the design. This is a sector card. Really, really cool design.
Get ready.
And I'm throwing you right into it.
Remember the buttons.
Any idea what the hell this is?
Never seen it before.
No, it's not one of your hot buddies. Then I guess we should just go and blast it.
You really gotta like time your
the longest route.
Yeah. Yeah, again, the stasis gun is super important in this encounter. Just dealing as much damage as you can to that back area. Oh, you got the
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, now I have to go for it. It's there. I have to go for it.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, God.
Big AoE attack.
So, yeah, you can't use the dash, like, as much as you want. There is definitely, like, a cooldown to it.
Yep. Oh, you went for the big hat.
Maneiro isso aí, mas vou saber quando testar. Vendo uma coisa, ter na mão o controle é outra.
Put all your faith in the child.
We got a very classic Capcom thing right there.
This isn't like a Devil Trigger at all. Oh god, did I mess up? Oh. So yeah, when you're in overdrive, what exactly is the difference? Like you get like a slow-mo? It's like a save you, right?
So it'll basically stun everything around you. So instead of having to hack each one individually, it'll just do all of them. In this case, you only have one enemy on you, but you can imagine encounter with much more enemies.
Oh, I did it wrong. Sorry.
You got you got the overdrive, or the,
Oh, we got it. Okay, cool.
Tem que começar rápido também, né?
It's still alive.
Almost there, almost there.
Chill, chat. I'm out of ammo? Oh no.
Oh, you're right
there.
there.
We go. Okay.
All right.
Hey, okay.
Yeah, baby. We did it. This is how we say good job.
Musulman.
So yeah, that fight was significantly harder the first time I did it. And as you were saying, yeah, it's... Thank you. I played a video game. Thank you. Yeah, the first time you're just sort of like wrapping your head around all these elements and things, but like once you sort of grasp the situation in the game, it's interesting how, once again, the skill expression of familiarity really help out. Like a first-time playthrough is going to look so much different than a third or fourth-time playthrough.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I'm really excited to see what people do when they get their hands on the game. Yourself, too, once you've spent tons of time with it, people are going to do some crazy stuff, so I'm really excited. So, Max, when we talked to SGF, he had a bunch of questions about the game. It actually turned out, we put out a call for this panel of, questions for the team, and a lot of your questions kind of lined up with what other people have been asking. So with that in mind, we actually asked the director if he could answer a few of them, and he recorded a video in advance to do that. So let's take a look at a video from the game's director.
Pode ser atrás mesmo, diretor de uma entrevista.
皆さん、こんにちは。プラグマッタディレクターの張ヨンヒです。PAX West 2025のカプコンパネルにお越しいただき本当にありがとうございます。そして今回のスペシャルゲストであるマクシミリオン・デューさんによるどのようなゲームプレイが見られるかとっても楽しみにしています。数週間前、私たち開発チームへの質問を募集しました。質問を通してどんなことを皆さんが興味を持っているのかを見るのはとても楽しく、どの質問を選ぶか、本当に開発の我々としても悩んでいましたが、今回はその中からいくつかお答えできると思っています。では早速始めていきましょう。まず長らくお待たせしてしまい申し訳ございません。ディアナのハッキングとヒューのアクションで協力してゲームを進めるというコンセプト自体は初期から変わっていないのですが、それを新規タイトルとして面白いと思えてもらえるゲームプレイへと落とし込むまでに時間がかかりました。自分たちが作りたいゲームがユーザーの求めるゲームになっているか、新規タイトルとしてオリジナリティがあるだけではなく、それがしっかりとユーザーが納得できる面白さになっているか、そんなことをチーム全員で悩みながら試行錯誤を重ねてきました。もちろん時間がかかった分辛い時もありましたが、各種デジタルショーをたびに諦めず忘れずにずっと期待し続けてくれたファンの皆さんの声がチームにとって大きな支えになりました。本当にありがとうございます。まだ詳しくはお話しできないのですが、メカニカルな 月面施設だけではなく、何これと思ってもらえるようなユニークなステージが他にもいくつかご用意しています。その一つがですね、月面のタイムスケアですが、もちろん本編にもちゃんと用意しております。ただ開発を進める中でアップデートを重ねているので、初期のコンセプト映像そのままではありません。例えば人工衛星が上から落ちてくるとかは現状では存在しておりません。タイムスケアのステージがどのようになっているのかは近いうちにまた皆さんにご紹介させていただく予定なのでお楽しみに。本作で大事にしているポイントの一つなんですけど、カジュアルゲーマーでもすぐに遊べて、コアゲーマーでも飽きないような歯応えのある難易度設定です。プラグマッタの物語や新たなゲームシステムをより幅広くゲームファンの皆さんに楽しんでほしいと考えていて、調整を頑張っています。ヒューやディアナ、装備強化などといった要素はもちろん存在しています。詳しい情報は追ってまた発表していきますので、ぜひお楽しみにしてください。本作はボタンの使用数が多いゲームなので、ボタン配置にかなり時間をかけています。現状ではチーム全員が納得できるボタン配置になっていて、誰もがすぐに慣れるような操作感覚でプレイできると思います。実際に遊んでもらうと分かるのですが、一見複雑そうに見えるコントローラーのボタン配置はゲームプレイ開始直後からすぐに理解できるようシンプルで直感的なものになっています。ただ実はボタンの数による制約よりも難しかったのが、パズルとアクションという異なる要素を並行に、しかもそれがテンポよく戦略的に最後まで飽きずに楽しめるようなものにすることでした。これにはですね、絶妙なバランス調整が必要だったので、チーム全員が本当に試行錯誤を繰り返すことになりました。この調整に時間をかけた分、今は我々開発チームとして面白いものに仕上がってきているのかなと手応えを感じております。今回パクソエストに参加している皆様にもぜひ、実際に手に取ってゲームを遊んでみてほしいです。今回はたくさんの質問をありがとうございました。時間の都合上全てお答えできなくて残念ですが、またプレイされていない方はぜひカプコンブースにお立ち寄りいただき、プラグマタを実際にプレイしてみてください。それではパクソエスト2025を楽しんでください。
All right. Thanks so much to Director Cho for taking the time to answer those questions. Max, did that get you hyped to see more?
Yeah, no, the questions that were being asked pretty much lined up exactly with a lot of the concerns and questions that people have had for such a long period of time, you know? And to me, it is sort of representative of like the game design process, because these are made by creative people that want to make something new. Game development isn't always linear, just like point A to point B, it deviates and it escalates. So knowing that they did not give up on the project, that they were waiting to find like that sweet spot, and hearing it from the devs directly is cool that there was a commitment to it.
Yeah, I really like that he talked about just like, you know, really taking the time to iterate to find something really fun, and not just original for original's sake, but something that feels really good to play, and that you know, when people get hands-on with it, they'll feel the same way. So I think it's looking really good.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, is that this is a game where if you go hands-on, it changes your mind. And that literally happened to me. I'm sort of the redemption story of having no faith that this was going to be any good or exist or any fun, and then all of a sudden it does, and it's like, wow, actually kind of blew my mind. Yeah. So yeah, if you guys get a chance to play it at PAX, I highly recommend just putting your hands on it and just seeing what it's like and seeing how it engages you as you play it.
Yeah, you went from saying pregunta to being a believer.
We couldn't say the word pragmata, okay, dude? Like I banned the word, so everyone started saying pregunta because they were still excited, and I'm like, no, you can't say the word, but you know, it's unbanned now, so we're clear.
All right, Max, first PAX West, right? Ever? Any closing thoughts?
Well, thank you guys for being here. I mean, it means a lot. It means a lot that Capcom invited me here, that you all were able to be a part of this. I don't get to go to a ton of conventions and stuff, usually at things like EVO, but being here for the first time and being part of a Capcom panel that I've been going to for like 12 years throughout like E3 and everything else means a lot. So thank you guys too.
Well, we'll be sure to grab a picture at the end, I think. We gotta commemorate this moment.
No, that's a good idea. Do you guys want to take a picture or something? We get one with you all? Okay, that'd be a good idea.
Okay. All right, so just to wrap things up, this game releases next year, PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. We can't wait to share more, so be sure to, again, stop by the booth, play the demo, grab one of our special skins while you're at it, and be sure to follow our social accounts for more information to come in the future. Max, you're also going to be signing some posters at the end of this, right?
Yeah, no, thanks to the Capcom folks. They got us some free posters. We're going to have some limited time with signing. Thanks to the PAX crew for setting that up as well. So I think that's going to be going down at 4 o'clock, kind of right after this panel. And I don't know the exact geographical location. It's right down the escalator, right?
Yeah, I think it's on the 4th floor in this building. So look for the autograph area. I think it's like as clearly labeled as possible.
It's in the autograph area.
So.
Okay, I'll see you guys there. I'll be doing meet and greet and giving away posters for a bit over an hour. So I hope to see you there.
All right, so just 2 more things before we wrap up. So if you've played the demo here at PAX and are interested in sharing your thoughts for an upcoming video, actually, if you could stick around for the panel, maybe we might have a chance to grab you for a couple questions. We'd really appreciate it. And again, last but not least, if you look under your chairs, you might have a pin under your chair. Ooh. So hopefully you're able to grab one.
If they have to solve a Pragmata puzzle under their chairs, that's not nice.
You got to trace with paper. But yeah, that's going to do it for our Capcom Presents panel. Andy, before we close things out, any thoughts?
No, great time. Thank you guys for coming up here to learn more about Onimusha and to get the recap of Resident Evil. So thank you.
All right, thanks everybody. We will see you next time. And actually, let's stick around so we can get that picture.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Então, esse foi o evento da Capcom. Gostei muito do que eu vi. Gostei.
Saindo da tela inteira.
Mas também eu senti falta.
Atualizar, atualizar. Exatamente. Carregamento concluído.
De fazer
repetição do bate-papo.
Outros.
Clicável principal marco.
Outras coisas mais no jogo.
Marco,
temos outros eventos para em breve aqui no canal. Deixa eu parar aqui a música, deixa eu assim na pausa mesmo. Lembrando, continuaremos mais eventos para Quest semana. Antes teremos da PlayStation também, né? Vamos ficando por aqui então. Muito obrigado por me acompanhar. Vídeo aqui no canal. E nos vemos nos próximos vídeos. Valeu, falou. E eu fui até o próximo evento.
Iniciar janela. Recomendado. OBS Studio. Transição interrompe.